Giving you a slice of unapologetic conversation. Welcome to Straight to Tape. My name is C. Perry II, the Mr. Fantastic of podcasting's Fantastic Four. First, shut up. First, the comedian, professional joke slinger, Tico the Gallo. What's good, Tico?
Man, you know, lasagna, spaghetti flavored cake.
And it's delicious.
Oh man.
Now that you think about it, now that I think about it,
Yeah, that's all I got.
I would say more of a spaghetti flavored trifle or tiramisu because of the layers, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that with the layers. Yeah.
You know, you all have grown so much because back in the days, the only types of food I ever heard y'all talk about was either Bojangles, motherfucking damn, you know what I'm saying, K&W, and you know what I'm saying. And
I still love K&W.
I know you do, man, because we still hood. Man, y'all using fancy words with
K&W is not hood. There used to be a
no.
K&W in North Hills Mall. Thank you very much.
Yeah, precisely.
Oh, yeah.
We actually gonna start this show with
that was
K&W.
Yeah, that was
reference.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yes, it was
A K&W reference, really. Okay.
Hopefully we can get sponsorship because it is a North Carolina based company.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, true,
It's a BS. It was before the BS, before seasoning. You know what I'm saying? So they need to have seasoning in their food.
And ladies and gentlemen, the first lady of S2T, the quintessential hip hop mom, Keisha with a Y. What's good, Kate?
Here we go with this. What's up, y'all? It's Keisha with the Y, aka Hip Hop Mom, aka now I want some K&W crispy fried chicken mom, and I'm gonna take your mom with me because I'm her mom. I'm your mom's favorite mom, and your mom likes K&W.
She do. She'll go.
I bet you.
She'll go with you.
Oh no, Tico. Yeah, I know your mom likes K&W.
Oh,
Okay,
she'll go.
so,
Oh, how you know my mom? Yeah, you told what you doing, man? Now let me tell you, man, you take this Medea homecoming thing a little bit too serious, son.
Plot twist.
Hold it. It was plenty of plot twists in it, so I mean,
God, dog, dude. Oh man. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Yeah.
And too early for the rabbit holes. And of course, in the building, our social media assassin for the Double Deuce. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Rob the Actual. What's good, Rob?
man, chilling, man. I'm in the building. You know, rested, ready to kick this show off. You know what I mean? You know how I do, man. Ruggedly handsome and geekishly intelligent, as I am. Yeah, let's get it started, man. Hey, look, if you're in the comments, man, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and drop a heart. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're watching, drop a heart on there, drop a like, share the stream, all that good stuff, man. And strap in, man. About to take off. Let's go. Let's get it.
Exactly. And look, our fifth wheel is back. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight, the host of Intelligently Ratchet, which you can find on YouTube, on Facebook Live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The host of Intelligently Ratchet, our favorite permanent guest host, ladies and gentlemen, Bishop Omega. What's good, Bishop?
What is going on, everybody? Thank y'all for bringing me to the illustrious and, you know what I'm saying, comfortable Straight to Tape on a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It's not only a Taco Tuesday, but it's another type of Tuesday. So I hope your inboxes are fresh with the fruit. And that's all I'm going to say.
Fresh with the fruit.
With the fruits.
Fresh with the I don't exactly know where to go from there. Oh, yeah. I know where to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an excellent show in store for you today. In the building, North Carolina Central University men's basketball head coach, Coach LeVelle Moton, will be joining us right here on Straight to Tape. Okay. Now, yes. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch Straight to Tape, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on Twitch. The audio version of Straight to Tape, which is now powered by Acast. You can find it on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. That's including Apple Podcasts. That's including iHeartRadio. That's including Spotify, including Amazon Music, including Google Podcasts, plus more. Okay. Plus,
we everywhere.
More.
And
bro,
everything.
Bro, we large, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we everywhere. We're everywhere.
We're worldwide right now, bro.
Okay, we're everywhere. We're everywhere. Okay. Also, make sure you're following us on our social media platforms. That being Facebook, that being IG, that being Twitter. Straight to Tape. Go check out our YouTube channel, S2T Media. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you are in tune with your favorite podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for us to get started out this piece, okay? You know how we do. Let's get things started by taking a look at some of the biggest news storylines of the week in a portion of the show that we call the headline grab. I'm going to be honest with you. I hate that this is going to be the first headline that we're going to talk about, but it has to be talked about. So, 10 dead in a racially motivated Buffalo shooting. So, this past Saturday in Buffalo, New York, at a supermarket called Tops, and 18-year-old Peyton, God, I forgot his last name. I don't even want to really talk about his last name, but either way, walked into a supermarket, fully loaded semi-automatic rifle, camouflage gear, and started shooting up the place. Mm-hmm. And in the end, you have 14 injured and 10 dead. And he was targeting, and specifically targeting, African Americans. look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really, really, really just hate talking about stories like this, but we would not be doing our responsibility and our due diligence as a show if if we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
um
I had a thought.
mhm.
Do y'all think that the reparations episode of Atlanta sent this nigga off? Because he wrote this is your reparations on the gun.
Mm.
These are these are your reparations. Do you think that set him off? You think he saw it?
Only reason why I would say no is because he had a 180-page manifesto.
Right.
Okay. And part of that manifesto or his fear was the white population being replaced by immigrants and being replaced, or more importantly, being replaced by people of color.
Right.
Okay.
And that's a theme that has proliferated through lots of not even extremist right-wing political candidates and representatives. It is something that they talk about on a regular basis, just on any level that others are coming into this country and replacing basically white men, straight men. So anyone who's not a white straight man is subject to be replaced by anyone who's not a white straight man, and that type of rhetoric is heavy through Republicans, basically.
Yeah, it's what's referred to as the Great Replacement theory. Okay, it's it's a theory that actually goes back to the early part of the 20th century. It was a French, a French philosopher who came up with the theory. It's a philosophy that's been co-opted by white nationalist groups, and as Key said, that's also been co-opted by mainstream, by some mainstream politicians.
May I wake up? May I wake up? May I wake up? Can I wake up? I will wake up. You're fighting the wrong battle, white man. It's not us. It's the man upstairs. It's the sun. The sun is killing you all because you have no melanin in your skin, which is killing your sperm cells.
I hate it here.
Which you can't produce. Hence why you're sitting there putting your sperm in refrigerators and shit and in your eggs in refrigerators because the sun is killing you all. Let's break it down to science. You're mad at the wrong thing.
The way I look at it, I had a question that I didn't post, whatever that I wanted to. I'm like, in the history of everything, like, since black people are so quote unquote dangerous and we're all this, when's the last time any black people, gang members, let's go with the drug dealers, let's go with the worst of the worst. When have we ever gone to a affluent neighborhood? When have we gone? When has East Durham gone to Woodcroft and shot up Woodcroft because they were white? You know what I'm saying? It's just like this. And then they got this narrative like we're the dangerous ones. It's like, no, those people are minding their business. Hold on. You're in Buffalo. Why didn't you go to the hood and do that shit? You know what I mean? Why did you go somewhere where people were doing their shopping and they weren't doing anything? They were being just regular fucking folks. And you drive 200 miles
on a Saturday afternoon.
When you could have gone and got the type of smoke that you wanted out of the projects. You just passed.
He didn't want no smoke, though. He's a coward.
That's the thing.
No.
He didn't want no smoke. He don't want to fight anybody. He wants to eradicate something.
Well, according to his plan, if the supermarket was a success, the hood was his his next targeted area. Yeah,
interesting. He was just cutting his teeth.
Fascinating. But I mean, it's like he said, man. The crazy thing is this is permeating into mainstream politics, and I mean that's really dangerous, man. It's really dangerous. You know what I mean? So I mean, it has the potential to just set off a kind of a chain reaction. I hate to say,
Right.
man. Bottom line is, y'all know me. Stay frosty out here in these streets, man. Stay frosty.
Stay strapped.
Stay frosty. Stay with your head on a swivel. And you know it's fucked up though, to be honest with you, because now you got to be just looking at everything and everybody with a side eye. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
gone are the days where you can just, go on about your business. Like we try to
Right.
not live in, and I'm not advocating living in fear. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you really do have to have your head on a swivel, and you have to be you do have to be looking at everybody funny.
And mindful where you at.
You have to
But
be
in a
mindful of your surroundings at all times, 100%.
And our new
Exactly.
guest, Scott Graham, I don't recall seeing his comments in the comments before, but he makes a good point. New York has one of the most stringent gun laws in the country. Ain't nobody
Mhm.
have no guns.
Right.
So it makes
That's
him
another
even
thing.
more of a coward to go
Right.
somewhere where he knew that he would not be matched even minimally with this firearm and this firepower. And Daniel made a good comment, but I have questions about it because he says loss of power scares people. What fucking power? The power to oppress people? The power to make laws that only benefit you and yours and not me and
Yes.
mine? Like
Yes.
that power? That's been
Right.
Yes.
gone. That's not coming back. I mean, it's slowly waning. Let's say we have the
Yes.
a lot of
Right.
things that
What it
recently
is,
happened.
what it is, they
However,
starting to
yeah,
realize it. It's
right.
so what it is when it was going away, right? It was still they had so much like too big to fail almost, right? But
Mhm.
now it's starting to be tangible. It's starting to be
Right.
it's
The
starting to be
loss.
tangible at this
Yeah.
point in time. Now they're starting to feel the shit, and it's just only a little bit. Now it's like, excuse me. Now it's like, oh shit, I can't live in my complete Christian male whiteness anymore. You know what I'm saying? I got to be
Right.
careful with what I say because what it was like when Keisha said something in 1992, you know what I'm saying, about the way I'm reacting. Okay, I get a slap on the wrist. We go by the water cooler, we chuckle it off. Now it's 2022. Now I'm getting fired for that shit because they don't want that shit to be, they don't want it to be a media storm. So now it's like, oh my
Right.
God.
Right.
Oh my God, it's starting to be tangible. It's like, yo, I can't talk to these subservient gorillas the way I want to talk to them anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I can't talk to these damn moon crickets and these damn, you know what I'm saying? I can't talk
Stupid.
to them anymore. I can't call
Lord,
them
they gonna
moon
mute our
crickets.
show.
I can't call them monkeys anymore to their face. What is going on? What is going on? And you know what it is? Now the chicken, like one Malcolm X said, the chickens have come to roost. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time. It's like, oh shit, things are changing. My kids aren't thinking the same. I can't even teach this shit to my children
Right.
because they have
Right.
the internet now.
They
Right.
go to school and they talk to those darkies and those brownies and those
Right.
yellow people, and they're all friends. I hate it here.
I hate
Shit,
peas.
but we knew this was going on during
Yeah,
our time.
absolutely.
During our time,
Mhm.
because when we were growing up as kids, they moved they shipped out some Chavis Height. They moved us over there to Broughton. You know what I'm saying, to Athens Drive where all the money was. It was like 90210 over there. You know what I'm saying? So they put the hood over there to see all that stuff. And we were intermingling, we were talking, you know what I'm saying? And we were hooking up. You know what I'm saying? Daddy's little girl, you know what I'm saying, on her rebelliousness, you know what I'm saying, happened to touch some black penis. So, you know what I'm saying? You just can't have a baby. And then, you know what I'm saying? It just dilutes. It's like it is. It is what it is. They can't stop it. It's the last days. The last days, man. Last days, man. They'll find something else to be mad at.
Now I do have to Asim brought up a good point where conservative journalists aren't helping either.
Mm-mm.
I mean the great replacement theory is one thing that Fox News is Tucker Carlson.
It's
Okay.
radicalizing. It's
Yeah.
radicalizing. Is that the word? Yeah,
Mhm.
radicalizing these folks, even if they're on
Right
the
now.
very fringe of being so angry and upset that they're going to act outwardly and dangerously. That replaced first of all, there is a mental health component to this, right? So nobody that's qualifies as sane, air quotes, is going to go out and with all these firearms and just randomly shoot a whole bunch of select group of people. They're not. So
Right.
that's one thing. But when you have that kind of mentality or mental health disorder in the country, and you continue to proliferate this replacement theory, it is going to negatively affect these people in a big way. Like this Buffalo massacre has overshadowed, like, there were 10 people injured, one ended up dying in California, and that
Right.
was a Japanese man who was angry at Taiwanese people. Who knew?
Right.
But it's the same type of situation.
Right.
The
But yeah,
same
it's,
type of
it's
situation.
yeah, it's just this really dangerous uh, ideology that, you know what I mean, that white people are being quote unquote eradicated or whatever. Remember, I sent y'all in our group chat a Facebook post from this some conservative media personality that he was complaining because, like, all of the commercials and stuff and TV shows were featuring a lot of black people. Like, he was, you know, he was upset, like legit upset about it, and was posting on his Facebook. And this is like a well-known, like, conservative media personality. Not even gonna say his name, but it's just
Go
really
ahead, say
crazy,
it. Go
man.
ahead and say it, friend.
Nah. It's just crazy because
But meanwhile, for years and years, all of my life, there were no black people in commercials, right?
Right.
Until
Right.
recently. We didn't get to be represented in nothing, not on no TV shows, unless they were our own, like your Cosby Show, and they were made for us, right? Not even by
But
us, but for us. But all of the other representations, you open up a magazine or the fucking JCPenney catalog or the Toys R Us catalog or all the commercials on TV, they were always, almost always, all white. But now that there is inclusion that is representative of this country's makeup, actually, it's not overly black, it's not overly Asian, it's not overly Latino, it's just not all fucking white. And it's not all fucking white because my country, the United States of America, is not all white. But you start to see a little drip of color and shit, and now it's, oh god, ooh, shut the fuck
Right.
up, yo.
But it's
Just
all.
shut
But
up.
even. But even in that. But even in that, it's still divide. It's still division. Even when you watch those commercials, because you can always find a goofy white man with a fine black woman, right? But you see, you know what I'm saying, a white man, and you see a black man. You know, matter of fact, I only really just see black men with white women on commercials,
I've seen
if I'm not
plenty.
mistaken.
I've
yeah,
seen
white
black
women.
men
see a
with
lot
white
of that.
women before.
I say, but I've seen
there
like
were
white women with, you know what I'm saying. I guess it'd be like, you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I've never really seen it, paid attention to it, I guess, but I've seen
you
the
don't
whole
if you don't
joint.
watch commercials, just say that.
No, I don't watch commercials because I like mass media. But but it was like, you know, I've seen like goofy white dudes with like fine black women. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool, prosthetic. But I've never seen like just a regular old just chick, like a regular old like the chick that be selling, like the chick that be doing the Dawn commercials and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Nigga, what is you talking about?
I don't know where
let me
he.
tell you.
I don't know.
Let me tell you.
I don't know
I've been
where
trying
he
to
went
figure
with
that
his
shit. I was trying to let him cook, but I still don't know.
I'm talking, but y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all will get it later. Y'all get it later.
No, we won't.
No,
Yo,
yeah.
Nah,
Got
what he's saying is that they won't quote unquote give any white dude a homely black woman.
right.
But that's
They
so relative. That has
What?
nothing. The way the people look has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Bro, I don't know.
Well, that's
okay.
because
All right. Yo.
the
It is the
relevance.
representation of a black man and a black woman, or an Asian man and a black woman,
Let's go.
or a white
Let's go.
man and
No,
a white white
Rob,
woman,
no,
or a black
Rob,
woman,
no,
and to mix
Rob.
children. Like how the person looks, how their aesthetic, if they're aesthetically pleasing to you, the consumer, or not, does not fucking play into this conversation. So stop
Rob,
that
I'm
shit.
sorry. I have
For
a
the benefit
problem.
of those
I
of
have
you
a problem.
just
I have
joining
a
us,
problem.
believe it or not, we were talking about the shooting in Buffalo, New York. But go ahead, Perry.
Thank you. Dear, I got a problem. Okay, I got a problem with the narrative that Tico was trying to put out there, and the fact that Bishop understood it. I got a problem with that. I have a major problem with that. Major.
Y'all look here.
I mean, it's
Okay.
what it is.
I just don't understand how you got that. But anyway, so look, guys, here's just the thing. I hate to have to go out here, and I'm not going to be worried on the street. Okay,
Nah.
I'm going to be mindful, but I'm not going to be
It's
worried.
my time. It's
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not, I'm not going to be worried. But at the same time, there has to be a level of accountability. And I'm not talking about a level of accountability, that always goes back to the, take your guns narrative. Okay.
Mhm.
That's not the issue here. Okay.
Take that gun.
That's not the issue here. The issue is the ideology, and the ideology of white supremacy that is continuing to become a part of our political narrative. That's
It's
my biggest
growing.
issue,
And I remember
That's
like
my
20 years
issue.
ago, we thought, okay, things are getting better, and they were. I do believe they were. Things are getting better. Like these people are eventually going to die out, right? And be replaced by um more,
Same
not
people.
necessarily agreeing.
Mhm.
They agree, but they're more level-headed than Jesse Helms, right?
Right.
But I don't even. And then
Jesse Helms
Obama.
was calm in comparison to a
Well,
lot.
he's calm in
of
comparison.
those that are out
However,
there today.
he
Yeah.
had a whole got a person like this little dude or whatever that killed these people. He doesn't have any power other than the power that he manufactured with that gun. Jesse
Right.
Helms had political power, lots of it.
Right.
So it's kind of the same on different sides
Level,
of
right.
the spectrum or whatever.
Mhm.
This little guy feels completely powerless, so he buys this gun and he modifies it, and that's his power.
Let me ask you something, Perry. How did they detain him? Because with the picture I saw, he was not bruised up, wasn't beat down, wasn't shot, didn't seem to be injured or anything. Seemed to like, what I'm saying, his stomach was cool.
They talked him down and he gave up because he quote unquote had the gun pointed at himself. Okay, so they talked him down. He gave up. They peacefully, after all this chaos and death that he caused, they took him in peacefully.
Yo,
And
whoever that negotiator is, he needs to be training all negotiators across the motherfucking damn country. I'm telling you, because I hear you. I hear you. Same scenario. We getting killed and we ain't got no guns. But anyway,
but we don't ever get to the negotiator part,
Right.
Kiko. They just shoot and kill us.
Right.
They just shoot and kill us, whether we're armed or unarmed. We don't even get to that. Like, I picture in my mind like an episode of damn Law and Order, the first half
Right.
when the crime's happening, right?
Right.
And they just, ours is like, crime that happened. We're 15 minutes into the show, and then they spot a black person as the perpetrator, and they shoot and kill him, and then
Doom,
the show
doom,
takes
doom,
the
doom, doom,
right
doom, doom.
bong bong,
Yeah, right.
and then the show takes another turn for like his friend who helped him orchestrate it, but he won't there. In their story, we're 15 minutes in the show. The crime has happened. They find the white face perpetrator, and then they call in the negotiator. It's a whole big thing, right? Takes up a whole nother 15 minutes of the show. It's a whole big thing. And then the negotiator talks down this person. We don't get that far. They don't call a negotiator for us. They don't even worry about whether we have an actual weapon or not. They just murder us there
This shit's bananas.
on the spot. We get no due process. They become judge, jury, and executioner at that second. And this has happened over and over and fucking over again.
That's right.
Over and over and over again in every state.
Right.
We don't get that choice. We don't get to get talked down. We get shot and killed, or knee on the neck and killed, or whatever.
Because of the fact of this right here, it is what is perpetrated within the media and on TV and all that stuff. So what we need to do is this right here. Is now we see who the dangerous people are. So let's start, you know what I'm saying, putting stories and stuff out there of mass shooters. Because for decades we didn't been the pimps, the whores, and the drug dealers, right? And the gang members. So that does, I mean, with someone looking at that, if you see that image every day, that gets in your mind. Now you're scared of black people. Understandable. Okay, now you've grown up with that narrative that somehow black people are more dangerous in this country than anybody else. All right, what the fuck ever. Now it's time to start telling those stories now about your Columbines, your Sandy Hooks. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time to start putting a face on these mass shooters. You can't go to a club. You can't go to a club because guess what? Yeah, black people shoot clubs up. But a lot of times that's because there's a fist fight occurred before or after it. No one's coming to a club just because you've never seen a black dude go to a gay club and shoot up the club because those people are gay. You know why? Because his choir director's there and his cousin and his auntie's in that mug. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna shoot them up. You know, those people he cares about. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's like this, and that's where we're missing. It's like somehow people think, you know what I'm saying, those people think that they should be able to be policing things, and if things don't go right, they throw temper tantrums, and unfortunately, these temper tantrums they throw end up getting innocent people of color killed. So you know what I'm saying? It's like now it's time to start. It's time to re-educate America to see who really is the dangerous ones. You know what I'm saying? It's time to re-educate the world because if you look at it, black people are some of the most peaceful folks and loving folks that has ever been. You know what I'm saying? We're also forgiving folks.
As long as you don't fuck with us. As long as you don't fuck with us. Right.
Exactly. We some forgiving motherfuckers, boy. We some forgiving motherfuckers. What I'm saying is this right here. I have never took one of my white friends or ever seen someone bring a white friend to a black person's home where there's a whole bunch of black people and them not be welcome. I mean, overly welcome. They'll treat they'll make sure they'll check in and all that stuff. But you put that same black person going to a white person's home, you know what I'm saying? What I will tell you this right here, you will have someone there that's looking like, why they here? Mm-hmm. Why they here? Uncomfortableness.
But it's like y'all said, man. It's like y'all said, those people were just going about their day, minding their business, going to the store, trying to get some groceries, yada, yada, yada. Man, listen.
The stories are horrible, yo. The stories are horrible.
Really, really, like you guys said, man, we just want to, you know what I'm saying, go about our lives and we just want to live. We just want to live.
And not have to worry about it. And that's the thing that white people don't realize because they don't have to do this, right? They don't have to worry about, am I gonna make it? Like literally. And And we are so we as Black people are desensitized. It's just part of our everyday life, right? I'm gonna drive from here to Durham, which is about 30 minutes, right? Will I get stopped by the police for some bullshit? Will they make me get out of the car? What do I say if I have to, if it happens? Who do I call? Do I need to have my camera rolling so it records it? These are everyday fears that your Black friends have to live with every day. Like, all my kids are out, gone. One's at work, one's out playing, one went to go play guitar somewhere. Are they going to make it home? Will they get stopped? Do they remember what we talked about when we had the talk?
Right.
If they get stopped by the police, will it be a nice police? Will it be a not so nice police? Because they exist, right? Is my kid gonna make it home from where they're going?
Yep.
That is an everyday fear of mine, personally. And they're in and out of here like, and I'm trying to raise them such that they're aware of what's happening, but not to be afraid to go and do what you're gonna do. Because I was having fun when I was their age. It wasn't such a worry. It was kind of in the back of my mind, but now it's in the forefront of everybody's mind because of the events of the past 20-something, 30-something years.
But critical race theory is the problem.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
So these are things like this, that kind of shit causes stress, which causes hypertension and diabetes and strokes. It caused like those, having to focus on that shit every day. And then the whole Breonna Taylor thing happened. And you're like, shit, I got to think about shit when I'm in my house.
I'm in my damn house.
When I'm in my house, my supposed to be safe place, but the motherfuckers can just come in here and shoot me dead and not pay any fucking consequences.
Yeah. No,
these are
that's
things
real.
that we think about every day.
You know, that's real. That's real. And you know, as Straight to Tape, we're definitely going to keep an eye on it. But you know what? Let's move on. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, upcoming Coach LeVelle Moton will be joining us for our sit down conversation. But while we got going on, what is next? What's next in the headlines? Okay, so Kendrick Lamar returns with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. So this is Kendrick Lamar's first album of new material in 5 years since Damn.
Yeah.
It was announced 2 weeks ago that Kendrick Lamar was dropping a new album. Last Sunday, we were hit with the video, an incredible piece of artwork with The Heart Part 5. And then on Friday, the album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, dropped.
Let me tell
with
you
the tour. With the tour coming up.
Yes,
with the tour coming up.
Yes, with the tour coming up. Yes. Yo, I watched that video, man. I watched that video, man. Let me tell you, sometimes, you have to put your phone down and really just start paying attention to your, to what you're doing. I was watching the video, but I really wasn't watching the video. I was listening, but I really wasn't watching. And so when I was sitting there looking, I was like, damn, Kendrick, you had some motherfucking damn surgery done or some shit. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with his face? But I, you know what I'm saying? but then I was just like, but he doesn't look like himself. And so I I went back into my phone, looked down again, you know what I'm saying, and looked back up again. I'm like, hold on, dude. He had a beard. I know this motherfucker had a beard, dude. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to sit back and like rewind it and watch it again. And let me tell you, mastery. Genius, just straight genius, bro. Just straight genius. Love it, bro. You got to watch that shit like in its entirety. You can't half step on that shit.
Yeah, you got to really watch it and pay attention to the lyrics as his face has changed.
Right,
but said, it is quite masterful.
And the video itself prepared you for what was coming up with this album. what were your guys' initial thoughts when when you press play and when you got halfway through this this double album?
I can say this right here. Kendrick Lamar has put a new genre of rap out there. It's called therapy rap. You know what I'm saying? It's because that's what it sounds like. It sounds exactly like someone that went through therapy. Because we could go with emo rap because we got Joe Buttons that was always sad and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I talk about my feelings. You know what I mean? But I'm sad.
Right.
But Kendrick is on the other side of that. Was like, yeah, I'm in my feelings, but I went and got help.
The
Right.
first line of the shit is like, I've been going through some things. Like he literally
Mhm.
sets up the entire
Entire.
18 songs.
Mhm.
Yep.
It sets you
It's
up for
therapy.
it.
It's therapy
People
rap.
are
It's
such
therapeutic rap.
surface
therapy rap.
listeners nowadays, and I'm not saying like everything ain't for everyone. Some people
Mhm.
don't like Kendrick. That's fine. They don't like
Right.
his cadence or his choice of words or his
Beats.
speed at which he raps or his beats that he chooses. It's fine. But if you listen to this album and don't get some kind of feeling for it, then you're just listening for what you want to hear as opposed to listening for what he provides in this album.
Mhm.
Because he goes through the entire, and like Bishop said, Joe Budden is just sad all the time. This is like a picture into a conversation that you would have, a bunch of conversations
Mhm.
that you would
Mhm.
have with your therapist.
Yeah.
Like you're just completely pouring everything out and allowing your therapist to help you order your steps, right? And to clear out the minutia. But
She
that's
said
what this
minutia.
is. Minutia.
I love
I've
it.
used that twice this week.
I know you did. I love it.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Minutia. Minutia.
Yep.
Minutia.
But yo, I'm just like for real. Like think about it. The kids were coming out. They were. I mean, the young ones were telling you exactly they were hurt. They were telling you they was
Mhm.
on these Xanax. They was on these pills. They taking this fucking lean. They doing all this shit. Yo, I'm fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling some type of motherfucking way. You know what I'm saying? And you're absolutely right, Bishop. It is therapy. It's like, yo, okay, I know that y'all feeling this way, but look, this is what you can do. This is what you should do. Yo, you can go out here and get this. I mean, you know, who else? Travis Scott. He tried to tell cats too, yo. I mean, he on some totally different shit, yo. He's like, yo, I'm telling you, I used to be big. I used to put junk in my, put junk food in my body and shit. I was thinking crazy shit. I started changing my shit, started talking to motherfucking therapists and all types of shit. Now I feel better, and I'm in my top. He's feel good.
Right.
So yeah, and as men, we need that. We need that type of music. You know what I'm saying, in our repertoire.
Yeah. I mean, play it next to your Pusha T, like sell a little coke
Right.
and then go to therapy afterwards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I can do it all.
Exactly.
You
I'm
can do it.
versatile.
You can do it all.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You can do it
You
all.
got it.
You can go get your guns. You can go get the Griselda, get your gun rap. You know what I mean? And then you go talk to it. You can tone soprano it. You can go murder somebody with Griselda and then go talk to Kendrick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And some of the what I thought was really dope was some of the subject matter that he really touched on. Like, you know what I'm saying, the Auntie's Diary joint was very poignant. Was like, yo, this is what tolerance looks like. You know what I'm saying? This is what tolerance looks like. This is what, when you are a kid and you know what I'm saying, and you have a uncle or aunt or a cousin or a brother or sister that is gay, lesbian, or anything, right? And how you look at them as a child, right? And it's like, oh, this is a cool person. My aunt was cool to me. You know what I'm saying? She cut my hair. I don't understand why my uncles don't fuck with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not understanding because all this person did was give love. It's not until you put the rest of that bullshit in, you know what I'm saying, where you got, you know what I mean, and everything else, where then it turns into something different.
Right.
So towards the end of that song, that's one of my favorite songs on the album. Towards the end of that song, he grows up, right? And at the end, they're in church, and he's basically telling the pastor, like, either you are of God and love or you're not, right?
Right.
So why isn't my person accepted in your flock?
Right.
So it is, and this is something that so many of us have gone through. Like, I don't understand the tug, because there is a tug about this song, And it may be because it's too deep and it's telling too many of our secrets. But almost everybody that I know that's black went through one of those scenarios in that song
Right.
with someone close to them in their lives.
Mhm.
So he's
Right.
just telling a story, and people stay trying to edit or wanting people to edit their own personal experiences instead of either shutting up and listening or shutting up and not listening.
But
Right.
you know,
You
that's that.
can't
You know,
change this man's experiences. You can't.
exactly, exactly. Yo, my joint was worldwide steppers. I thought it was like hilarious that he would talk about like he would talk to his ancestors about like fucking white women.
Yeah.
Mhm,
That was
mhm.
funny.
Yeah.
We
Very.
knew we knew you would
that,
like that one.
yeah, that shit
Yeah.
had me rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Because you know what I'm saying. I deal with that myself. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, leaving fingerprints on them, you know, it's very dangerous. But anyway, I love that song.
We're not
I
doing that.
thought the whole album, to be on some real shit, I thought the whole album was like it was a mixture of both albums. I think it was a mixture of Damn, and I think it was a mixture of To Pimp a Butterfly. I, you know, I think it was just a whole mashup
Mm,
of that type of just realness, man.
mhm.
And it's definitely needed. I mean, shit, dude. What was it? This is fifth album, right?
Mm-hmm.
This
Yep.
is last one. This is last one on Top Dog Entertainment, right? This is last
His
one, right?
his last one with TDE. His last one.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
Did he have
wow.
Yeah.
two and did a double to satisfy his contract? You think
No,
I
I
don't
think it
think he
was
did a
just
double.
five.
he
No,
just
he,
I
had
think it
he
one
was
he
more?
did
just
five
yeah. He just
albums.
had one more. He just had
He
one more
overshared.
left.
He
Yeah.
overshared.
Oh,
Actually, no.
mixtapes too.
Oh
Mixtapes too
no.
now.
Oversharing is actually uh the feel of my favorite song on the album, which is "We Cry Together." Oh my god.
Uh,
I don't like it.
Oh my
I
god.
like that.
I love it. I love it because it's a full conversation of a toxic relationship from, from the anger, to the lovemaking at the end. It was incredible. It was incredible, funny, poignant, and a conversation that I'm sure a lot of people out here who have been in toxic conversations have had, and some of them might have been verbatim.
That
Wow.
boy
I
said, "Give me my keys." That nigga said, "Fuck you walking today." I said, "Man, because I've been in the
Yeah,
house. I've been in the house, man. Give her the damn keys, and we ain't going nowhere today, bro. Give damn girl the
exactly.
keys."
That was so vivid. That was so vivid.
here's an
You know?
example. Here's an example of art that I appreciate because of the artisticness of it, but I have
Mhm.
literally never had any of those conversations with any man that I've ever been with. I have a failed marriage and never,
He ain't messing with the
Kid,
paper.
never.
you never told somebody that you should have got with their cousin.
No.
Damn,
I ain't never.
kid.
Well, I was raised not to let a nigga drive your car. Like my dad's like, don't let nobody drive this car. I'm like, okay, and I just carry that, and ain't no nigga gonna drive my car. I would never tell someone that I should have chose their cousin.
Mhm.
He would never have my car when I was going to work. He would never drop me off. Never. Like I just never been, and not to say whatever, but I it was it definitely taught me why relationships are so hard nowadays
Mhm.
because it seems like every detail that's in that song is fucking glorified in some way, shape, form, or fashion every fucking day on social media. Like it is
Mhm.
funny.
Mhm.
And
Right.
toxic has become like the buzzword to mean exactly what happened in that song. We are ripping each other's eyes, throats, and hearts out in
Mhm.
1 minute, and we're fucking the next minute. And that shit
Yep.
is
But,
it's Matrix.
but
It is
here it is.
it's glorified daily if you're in relationship groups or you're
Mhm.
in I'm like in a few moms groups or whatever. It's like this shit is funny to people, and it hurts me personally because it's sad. I don't want to feel like that about someone. I don't want to make someone feel like that. I would rather figure out a more productive way to handle our issues.
Right, but this is
However,
all
I understand, like, the song is masterful. It still is, but it just ain't for me. And that's where I listened to it once. I listened to it twice. I listened to the whole thing twice, right? Listen to it twice. I'll probably never listen to that song again.
right. But the crazy thing about it is the tapping noises right at the end. Okay.
No, I just said I listened to it 5 times.
Oh, right.
Okay.
But
Okay,
when he was like, don't tiptoe around the conversation. You know what I'm saying? It was like, because that's what it is. We in that whole song, yeah, we sat there and looked at this fucking dumpster fire, right?
Yeah.
But then at the end it said, don't tap around the actual issue. We didn't deal with the issue at all on that song.
At all.
We
At all.
just saw it. And then that's at the end, that's what made that song dope to me, because it was like this. Yeah, here's a dumpster fire, but y'all still not dealing with it. Y'all not dealing with it. There's a message behind this. There's a reason for this. And it was like, then it brings you back to the realization to like how sad it truly is.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yo,
therapy.
Rich Spirit was dope, yo. Rich
That's
Spirit was
therapy.
dope, man. I like this. I wrote this line. I wrote this line down that he had said. What did he say? He said, "Stop playing with me, before I turn you into a song." I hear that shit all. I feel that shit. Don't fuck with me. You'll be a joke for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You will be part.
My
of the
favorite
show.
is
You will be part of the show.
My favorite is Purple Heart, of course, because Ghostini's in that shit. My son actually sent it to me when the album came out. He had friends over to listen to it, and they listened to it once, because it came out at 12 a.m. or whatever. And so the next morning I wake up, I was like, all right, I'm about to listen. He was like, I'm about to listen again, because he just couldn't kind of fathom. They were so excited about this album dropping. And so he just kind of listened lightly through it. And he was like, don't look at the features. Don't look at the features. I was like, okay. And it was a nice surprise to hear the features, even like, Kodak Black, who's supposed to be canceled, and Baby Keem, like those newer rappers. I think they blended well and kind of brought their newness to Kendrick's mastery of this album. So,
because I'll say this, it was definitely mastery. He has a tour that's going to be starting soon. He will be in Charlotte on August the 2nd. And just a funny side story, I was listening to the album. My daughter's in the car. I look online and I see that the tour is starting, and the minute I said that, and this is my daughter who, a couple of months ago, I took her to our first major concert, and I was seeing her favorite rapper, Tyler the Creator. And the first thing out her mind was, "Yo, dad, are we going?"
We're trying to decide which date we're going to, whether Charlotte or DC or Atlanta.
Yeah, but that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Look, ladies and gentlemen, that was the headline grab. That was our that was our rather extended headline grab. All right, but look, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do on Straight to Tape. The one thing that we love guests. Okay, we love guests, and we have a special guest for you this evening. Okay. Our special guest is a championship-winning head basketball coach. He's a philanthropist, okay? He's an influencer. And look, this man recently had a municipal park renamed in his honor, okay? I mean, look, that's big. And what, you don't believe me? There it is right there. Boom. There it is right there, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, joining us in the S2T virtual studio, the men's basketball coach of my beloved North Carolina Central University. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Coach LeVelle Moton to Straight to Tape. What's good, Coach?
What's happening, man? What's happening? I appreciate y'all having me, man. I appreciate you having me. Hey, Key. Hey, baby girl. How you?
Hey, how are you? This is my illustrious Enlo Eagle.
Yes, Les.
alumnus.
Let me tell you
Fellow
something. See,
alumnus.
let me tell you something.
You didn't go to Inlow. What you gonna tell us?
Let me. I don't have to
here
go
we
to
go,
Love. We
here
from
we
the
go.
same neighborhood. We from the same neighborhood. You know
You
what I'm
ain't go to
saying?
our
Keep it
school.
check aside. We grew up together, son. You know what I'm
Talk to him,
saying?
T.
We go way back. We go way back. Yo,
You
it's
got
good to
shipped
see you,
off. You
man.
got
You
shipped
too,
off.
boy.
Sorry.
You too, boss.
It's good to see you, man.
Wow.
Congratulations
What's
to
up,
all that you
coach?
got going on, bro.
What's happening, family? I appreciate y'all having me, man. Sorry about the I don't know if Alicia told you about, what's going on, but I had to. When
The
you're a
coach
coach of a
stuff.
team, you got
Yeah,
to
they do
coach
coach
some
stuff.
things and
It's
deal
fine.
with some
What you gotta do.
uncertainties,
Exactly,
man. But I
exactly.
won't go miss this for nothing.
We
Appreciate
look,
Appreciate you, man.
we we appreciate it, okay? And I just showed the picture, okay?
Mm-hmm.
LeVelle Moton Park, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I didn't get a chance to make it, but look, I saw all the video to the dedication, and that
Yeah.
it was packed, man. I mean, you had family there, you had friends, you had classmates, okay? So look,
Yeah.
from Boston to
Mm-hmm.
Lane Street to Enloe to
Mm-hmm.
NCCU. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You've built community. Okay.
Right.
What does the word community mean to LeVelle Moton?
Wow, that's a good question, man. It's everything. As you mentioned, I'm from Orchard Park Projects originally in Roxbury in Boston, like home of New Edition, right? And you know,
You're a big
three,
fan.
yeah, three of us stayed in the same building, right? And so back then, our parents, I don't know if y'all remember this stuff or had to go through it, but we used to have these things called rent parties, man, right? And
Yep.
so
Yep.
what that symbolized was if somebody was struggling to pay their rent, then their friends within the community would turn their apartment into a nightclub and literally charge at the door of a housing project of a
Mhm.
2-bedroom apartment, and everybody would come over and party, and they give the door to the person in need. And that
Right.
was community. That's what I grew up on. So we all took care of each other. Even when I migrated down to Raleigh, North Carolina, it was the same way. Now the inception of crack cocaine kind of,
Right.
discombobulated that
Yeah.
a little bit, and now it
Mhm.
True.
made you
True.
not trust your neighbor as much as you once did, right? Because people, whenever you have any kind of illegal activity, right, you got some illegal things happening, like in terms of the gun play, and right, you just got to protect yourself at all times and keep your head on the
Mm-hmm.
swivel. So that distrust kind of violated the community a little bit. But
Mhm.
prior to that, that's all I knew. So I always said, look, man, this is a community that's always taking care of me because we were latchkey kids. So we
Mhm.
stayed outside all day. So you got discipline from your next door neighbor. You got discipline from the woman up the street, Miss Annie. But then when Mom Dukes got home, they
You
told her
got
you
it
got
in.
disciplined there, right? And so,
Exactly.
but when my mom also bought me a bag of Cheetos, she bought my homeboy some bag of Cheetos too. So we just all took care of one another. Um, and there was some tough, humble times, humble beginnings. Like if your
Right.
light was off, you just ran the extension cord next door. I'm giving
Next
y'all
door.
all the hood,
I'm telling
the,
you, bro.
the
Yo,
hood secrets, right? Right.
get
And
it,
then
yo.
you go next door, borrow some sugar, borrow some ketchup. Like, that's what we did. We just took care of one another. And I just think it's honestly, even though we were from humble beginnings and didn't have a lot financially, I just think us as a people need to go
Right.
back to adopting those ways where we really loved and cared and took care of one another, right? And so,
Mhm.
but what happens is when you financially, when you grow, you kind of further yourself away. And me personally, to answer your question, man, community is everything to me, right? Because you know what is it for a man to profit the world but lose his soul in return, right? And I see
Right.
so
True.
many
True.
people go through that, bro, and that's their prerogative, that's on them. But I got a sense of survivor's remorse too, right? If I'm being
Mm-hmm.
completely honest with you, because I always ask God, like, why me? Thank you, but why me? Because I want the smartest. I wasn't the brightest. I wasn't the best basketball player that came out of Lane Street. Chico would tell you that. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
just, I'm really fortunate, and it's not only my moral obligation, but a social responsibility to go back and take care of that community because I lived in poverty over half my life. So the real
Right.
adjustment is what I'm doing now. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
when
Mm-hmm.
I go back to Lane Street, I'm comfortable.
That's
right?
right.
Because
That's
that's who I
right.
am. That's what I. But the real adjustment is
Main
when I
Street done
walk in the
really
room.
changed a little bit now. It's
Right?
changing.
Yeah, yeah. It's gentrified.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
gentrified.
Yeah. Real
The
gentrified.
old trap house
Real
is worth
gentrified. Yeah.
$1.2 million, but
Right.
Yeah,
I'm always
right.
comfortable in that environment because that's just where I grew up at. And so I just try to make sure I stay obligated to take care of my community,
Well,
man.
you say you say that, Bill. Let me ask you this though. You say that, and I know because I've seen you and I've seen you at some of the events, the Boys and Girls Club. You're
Mhm,
real deep into that.
mhm.
Could you like little touch on that a little bit? Like, you know what I'm saying? I know you're still involved in it. You know, just talk about how that like how that has shaped you. I know how it affected me because we all went to summer school. I mean,
Yeah,
summer
y'all are
camp and all
products
that
of,
together.
yep.
Yeah,
Exactly. So, but
yeah.
just talk about how that right there, shaped you a little bit, if you don't mind, man.
You know what was crazy? When we moved from Boston, we rode by Raleigh Boulevard, and I just remember asking my mom, like, "What is that?" Because I saw so many people, so many kids playing on an acre of land in the back of the boys' club, and I asked her to sign me and my brother up, and fortunately, she did. When I look at the data and statistics from everyone that was from Lane Street, um, in 40 plus years of that housing project existing, only 6 kids went to college. That's not to say whoever didn't go to college is
Mm-hmm.
was unsuccessful, whatever, but only 6 kids went to college. And the common denominator that all 6 of those kids had was we all went to the boys' club, right?
Hmm.
And so it was a safe haven. It was really glorified daycare. It
Mm-hmm.
was the place, and I'm a firm believer, and y'all probably know this as well, with these kids, we can talk them to death all day. They're not trying to hear that. You got to show these
Show them.
kids something,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And so something tangible. And that's what the Boys Club did for
Representation
me. It
matters.
just absolutely it showed me, it took me to my first baseball game to the Atlanta Braves. It took me to my first college basketball game at NC State. Well, now I was outside the hood and I just realized like my talents can allow me to escape here and provide a better way, for
Mm-hmm.
myself and my family. And so I'm thankful for the Boys Club, man, because I went there until I was 18. And
Right.
so I know how much that place is pretty much responsible for me becoming the man that I am. And I just try to continuously stay active. I'm on the board now and just pour into these things because, like now, a lot of times the board don't even, it's not a reflection of the kids that you're serving.
Yep.
You
Yep.
Mhm.
follow
Yep.
what
Mm-hmm.
I'm
It become
saying?
it's
Right.
corporatized, so to
There
speak,
you
Right.
go.
right? What the
Right. And
money
then
doing, whether it's
there you
nonprofit or not,
go.
it's like what the money's doing. Yep.
Absolutely. And a couple of years ago, I went back and I spoke at their Breakfast of Champions. So each year they
Mm-hmm.
have the coach from local, local colleges come. And Duke had came, Coach K had spoke, Roy Williams had spoke, Mac Brown, Kevin Keats, all that. And so it's their annual fundraiser. It's their Breakfast of Champions. Probably 2,500 people in there, and 2,450 of them don't look like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And
Right.
it's everybody from Google to Red Hat to Cree, Lenovo, the governor, the House of Rep, like all of these people. And I asked them before I went on, I said, what's the largest amount that you guys fundraised? And I think they said like $100,000. I went up there, I spoke, and after 20 minutes, everybody's in the room. Everybody in the room is crying. And what I learned in that moment, and I already knew this, and y'all know this, like they love a kid that comes from the hood
Right. Mm-hmm.
that can stand before them and tell them how he came through, right? And
Mhm.
so my message to them was simple. I'm a reflection of what happens when you invest into the Boys Club. This is where your money goes. It
Right.
goes to
Hmm.
kids like me.
Right.
Everybody don't need to be a LeVelle Moton. You might have a kid that can cure cancer, but he just
Right.
needs some resources and opportunities because
Hmm.
he's going home and he's hungry, right? I
Mhm.
know
Right.
what
Right.
that's like.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Exactly.
He's going
Exactly.
home and he's hungry, so he can't even focus on a California achievement test or a SAT
Right.
or any kind of
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
standardized
Right.
test, right? So if you can provide those resources, because truth is, federal government have taken away some of those federal programs that's helped us, the NYSP programs in the summer, all
Right.
those things, you don't really see them anymore,
Yep.
right? And
Hmm.
because they were government funded, federal funded, and that's been taken away. And I just feel like the Boys Club is that place where it was a safe haven, it was a safe space. The motto at the time was it's the club that beats the streets, and that's what it did for me.
So what do you think? So what do you think about? because we from the same hood. So what do you think about them building the Y so close to the Boys and Girls Club? Do you think that that's you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that Raleigh Boulevard is the safe haven for most of us to go and have what I'm saying, some say so. But with the whole gentrification joint going on and the YMCA going further down, do you think that the Boys and Girls Club is going to have to that it's going to be a little trouble there? Or?
I think everybody has to adapt, right? Because I've been doing my back to school community day, myself and PJ Tucker. That's probably, I want to say this is the 14th year, right? And the first year, it was maybe 800 families out there. The following year, it was like 1,200. We got up to like 1,400 people at one time. And now it's still a great event, but you can see the numbers starting to dwindle. And that's because the surrounding communities is not a reflection of the people that we're serving, right? Because it is gentrified. And so the second highest, fastest growing city in North Carolina is Knightdale, right? And the reason is because the displacement of the gentrification of the Raleigh residents, now they're heading down to Knightdale and Wake Forest, right?
Exactly where I am. That's
right.
Where
So
I am.
and going North Raleigh. And it's really weird, man. Like, just being involved, because when you coach basketball, people just think, that's all you know is basketball. Right? They just think you're a dumb jock or whatever. But I tell people all the time, like, basketball is what I do, it's not who I am.
I am,
right? And so we're all well-educated human beings, especially about our community. And the thing about Raleigh, I don't even know if y'all know this, but all of the black neighborhoods in Raleigh, they used to be white neighborhoods.
Exactly.
It's cyclical. Like gentrification is cyclical. So
there you go.
Those white higher earning people, they take interest in the inner city. So then all of the people that at that point, the black people and the lower income people that are living close to where they're working in the city, they get displaced out. And then they change their mind. So they start to the gentrifying folks move out. So they move back in. So it's like decades.
They get older. They get older and they want to move out and have space.
Move out to the country and have more space.
And it becomes a cycle, right?
Right.
Because the operative word is housing projects. It was a project, right? I can show you footage of Apollo Heights and Melvin Court and Dayton Road. It will blow your mind. You'll be like, no way, this is not Apollo Heights.
I'm telling you,
just all
it's crazy. White
people.
Right.
But what happens is those communities were white. Worthdale, all those things was white. And then someone black moves in, and then everyone else disperse and relocate to North Raleigh. Right.
Well, people don't understand. They didn't understand this, LeVelle, that Chavis Height used to be for military. It used to be for military. So once you got out of once you get out of the military and you have a family, you would stay in the Chavis Height. You would go then use your loan or whatever, your VA loan or whatever, and go get your house, and then you move out of it. That was the whole thing. Then they was like, yo. Then the husband started like, hey, we don't need these women no more. They start leaving their wives, leaving them in these homes,
projects,
and turning into the projects. Right.
Yeah. But Tico, that was a part of the national cycle of white flight, which you saw happen in the 60s. Okay. I'm a product of the, I'm a product of that white flight. When my grandparents moved from Harlem and moved to Southside Queens, Jamaica in the early 60s, that white flight was starting then. Okay. And now you come back 40 years later, now you're looking, now you're looking at white incursion. Okay. With the children of those moving back in.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
And LeVelle, I'm sorry, LeVelle, I know we're talking about this, and it's crazy that you would hit on this because I also want to, dude, I've been peeping you for a minute, man, and I love what you do. I know you're doing some stuff on Southeast Raleigh, You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Some with some real estate and you know what I'm saying, affordable housing and stuff like that. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
absolutely.
uh, um, how hard is that going? Because that's our neighborhood, and I really
Mhm.
appreciate everything that you're doing because you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying. How difficult has that journey been, or you still fighting the fight, or how's that going?
Man, it's crazy that you asked that, man, because anytime you're the first of anything, um, and you're trying to blaze a trail, it's gonna be difficult, right? I don't care what it is, as a black
Mm-hmm.
man or a black woman, when you're the first, it's gonna be difficult. And you know that going into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's a great and the thing with our people, especially in Southeast Raleigh community, I just wanted to educate them, right? Like we can disagree. Like I don't mind that. I'm not always right. Who am I? You know what I'm saying? But I don't want anyone like you guys see some of the city council meetings and things of that nature. I don't know if you ever, took a peek at that. But those things become so disrespectful and so emotional, and people be cussing each other out, then go on Facebook and cuss out, elected officials and so on and so forth. And
Yeah.
that's cool. It might make you feel better, but at the end of the day, what does it get you?
It's not moving
Nothing.
anything forward at
There you
all.
go. Right. So it makes you feel good or whatever, whatever. I think one of the primary issues with black folks, um, and I say this all the time, and I just wanted to kind of help correct it, and because I understand it. I just think we're way too emotional in terms of the political um, climate,
Mm-hmm.
and I think these parties have taken advantage of our emotions, right,
Correct.
instead of our logic over the span of 50 years.
Hmm.
And so
Our
my
Dr.
part,
Spock says that all the time. That's Robert.
absolutely. So my partners and I, CJ Man and Terrell Midget, right? Shout out to Terrell. He's an Enloe
Yeah,
grad or
Terrell.
whatever,
Yeah,
and
Terrell.
Hey,
that's my
hey.
dude. So we decided, like, yo, man, let's start a construction development company, right? Because
Mhm.
we saw all this gentrification happening, and no one was benefiting that looked like us, right?
Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I put it like this: everyone loves Atlanta, and I use this for example. Everyone loves Atlanta, right? Like, and we all know someone in Atlanta. And the crazy thing is, the people we know in Atlanta, they all probably do different things, right? But they all
Mm-hmm.
got their own little hustle, whatever they side business, whatever they got going on, because it's like the black mecca of America,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And so, but the reason that came about was in the 70s, they were building the airport. And the mayor at the time, who was a Central grad, told them, look, this airport is $400 million, right? 20% of these contracts have to go to black people, black companies. And they gave him resistance on that initially, but he said, okay, you give us 20% of 400 million, or you get 100% of zero, but that's you decide.
Right.
So they eventually gave it. And from that project, he was able to create 18 millionaires. And God knows how many thousandaires, because these people did the tile, the sheetrock, the concrete,
Yep.
the slab, and all this stuff. So he created 18 black millionaires in Atlanta just off of um, that project, right?
Mhm.
And
And
so,
LaBelle, can I put a pin in here and get on
mhm,
my soapbox for 2 seconds?
yeah,
Vote, because you can't have people who advocate for you unless
mhm,
they're in office making these decisions. So if you
Right.
don't vote, then you're not. This is not what you're going to get. You're going to get what we've been getting.
Truth.
right,
Truth.
Okay, continue.
absolutely.
Sorry.
And so that's the thing, right? Because we never really knew the residual effects of voting. But what I've
Right.
learned in this whole ordeal, T, is life is for black people is just like a real life Monopoly game, right? And so the object of Monopoly, you sit down, everybody sits down, and everybody get the same amount of money. I think it's fifteen
Get
hundred to
out my
start the
joke,
game.
Lavelle. Get out
Right.
my joke. I got a joke like that. Get out of my
Oh, do you?
joke.
My bad.
Yes.
My
Oh
bad.
no. Go
My
ahead.
bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead, God. Go ahead,
Right.
God. Yo, me. We on the same. We on the same. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go
And the
ahead, man. You
purpose,
got it.
the purpose, the purpose of the game is to go around the board and acquire property. And once you acquire the property, develop that property in hopes of someone landing on it so they can pay you and you can create generational wealth for yourself and your family. And if you ain't able to land on the property, then you land on the utilities, the power, the water, whatever it may be. But you got to own something going around. The problem
Luxury
with black
tax.
people in America is we've been going around the board and we don't own nothing. We're just hoping to land on free parking or get out of jail free, hoping to collect $200 as we go along. Meanwhile, we're landing on other people's property, making them rich, and we don't have anything.
Right.
And what happens when you play that game that way? Two things gonna happen: either you go into jail, or you got to get up from the board because you're gonna be bankrupt. Right?
Yep.
And that's what's happened to black people in Raleigh. In the 60s, only 2 black people owned land in Raleigh. In 2022, only 2 black people own land in Southeast Raleigh. So the economic gap hasn't grown. And I just told everyone, because there was a lot of resistance with black people. But fortunately, they trust me because they know I'm from that community and of that community. They ain't necessarily have to agree with me, but they trusted me. And I just told them to listen. I said, I want y'all to understand something. I get it. Y'all don't want nobody to come in here and do nothing to this land and because you're claiming these neighborhoods and we're emotional about it. I said, but this fairgrounds was built in Dorton Arena was built in 1953. Right, that was a year before Brown versus Board of Education, so we won't even allow it over there. So what did black people get out of that? Nothing. I said we are all old enough to remember the Civic Center and Memorial Auditorium in the heart of downtown. Right?
Absolutely.
Graduated from that joke.
There you go. We all did that. It was parallel to Shaw, adjacent to Walnut Terrace and Chavis Heights. In the heart of downtown Raleigh, what did black people get out of that?
None of it.
Nothing.
They built PNC Arena.
They had no party.
They built PNC Arena. What did black people get out of that? Nothing. Red Hat Amphitheater. What did black people get? Nothing. They did what Walnut Creek Amphitheater. All they did was give you 2 tickets because they knew the music was going to be loud to a Conway Twitty concert. And that's all we got out of that. So my point is, we can't keep allowing these developments to happen. And we get nothing because 90% of the problems for black people and people of color that look like us can be solved through economic growth, right? But we don't have anything economic.
But LeVelle is also a mindset because a lot of times we hold this land, like historically we've held this land and then we sell it to the first person knocking on our door, offering us 6 figures, low 6 figures.
We'll know better.
Because you ain't never seen it before. Because you ain't never seen 6 figures before. You never seen 6 figures.
So a lot of that is like you said, financial education and the understanding of what wealth actually is. Wealth isn't something, I mean, it is, but technically isn't something you can pull out of your pocket and take to the store, right?
Absolutely.
You got to go jump through a bunch of hoops to get to that wealth to liquidate it. But wealth is something that you can pass on to your future claim.
And leave something, right? Because that's all they
exactly. Like our whole neighborhoods, everybody stays at grandma's house. Grandma's house is, and then you live at grandma's house, and then you don't really take care of grandma's house. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't painting grandma's house. You ain't doing the floors, you doing the cabinet, but you outside smoking cigarettes in front of grandma's house. Leave cigarettes butts
on the porch,
exactly. But you lowering the property value down because I remember, and you remember too. We've been in people's houses in the projects where it was immaculate, clean, immaculate. There was a person in Chavis Heights growing fucking corn. I shit you not, fucking corn. Corn, like the corn grew over the fucking project. That's how fucking big the fucking corn. That's how rich the land.
That's my grandma.
They don't understand how rich the land. I mean, the fertile, the soil is there. You know what I'm saying? Fuck what up with all y'all fucking building on that shit. How fertile that fucking that shit is fucking bugged out. And I love what you're doing, man. And keep doing that, man. And by all means, I'm a teacher. Goddamn, put me in one of them motherfucking homes, bro.
And that's the see. I'm glad you said it because what I told people is like we've forgotten about community. Again, it's the initial question you asked: what does community mean? And my thing was everything. I want you to think about something like the average cost of living in Wake County is $383,000. Right? For home. Who the hell could
who the fuck makes that money?
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's real life crazy for me, right? And so my thing is, it's the people that make the community, not $10 chai tea lattes and $15 lettuce wraps, right? It's the people. And think about it. We have two historically black colleges within 5 miles of one another, St. Aug and Shaw. Shaw's the first HBCU, if I'm not mistaken. But the people that serve that university, who was it? The cafeteria workers, right? And how did they get to work? They probably caught the cat bus or walked or rode a bike because they could stay, they could afford to stay in the community, right? So it's the people, it's you, the teachers, it's the policemen, right? It's the firefighters. Think about what happens if grandma, God forbid, what happens if grandma experienced heart pains and they call 911, but 911 got to come from Johnston County because they can't afford to live in the area. And so now they coming from Johnston County to go to Lane Street instead of, you know, 3 blocks over. Like the cafeteria workers at all the Wake County public schools, or even, you know, the HBCUs. What about the janitors, the custodians? Those people were valuable in those are the people that people forget about. And I'm like, yo, that's what I'm fighting for. So I come as one, but I'm representing 10,000. And so even though people may disagree with what I'm saying, they know my heart is in the right place because I'm not thinking about myself, right? And so when you're doing affordable housing, you don't make no money off of it. Trust me on that one. I ain't in this for the money thing, right? But it's to provide housing in a housing crisis because I know what people do when they don't have a roof over their head. And T, you and I know how they get down.
Right.
You
I mean, it's the evidence. Like crime rates are up, violent crimes are up.
Right.
Like they have shot up over the past couple of years.
No doubt
and
about it.
And that is because people are pressed. Like they barely have roofs over their head. They are barely making ends meet. And that's where a lot of the crime comes from. Some of it's just frivolous and stupid, right? Not talking about that. I'm talking about people stealing and committing crimes to try to feed their fucking families because it's not happening. It's becoming less and less possible in this area. And so for those that say just move, if you can't afford to put gas in your car, where the fuck you gonna go?
Exactly.
You think about the child care. Over 2 million people left their jobs last year and decided to stay home because they couldn't afford child care. Right. So if you're having a baby right now and daycare is $1,200 a month, like who the hell got that? You know what I'm saying? Like it's insane. So these are the things that people don't really think about. And I just feel like, you know, God blessed me to be in a position to help others. That's it. You know, I've been blessed to be a blessing to others in whatever capacity, man.
Most definitely, bro.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yo, so, LeVelle, I sorry, Rob. I gotta ask about your day job, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I gotta ask about your day job. Okay. So it was back in 2009. All right. You went from being the assistant coach to the head coach of your alma mater, North Carolina Central University. And this was during a time when the school was going into the transition of leaving Division II, leaving the comfort of the CIAA and moving up to Division I. Okay. Dude, what was going through your mind as you were out there as the face of that transition?
Yeah. You know, it was crazy. Honestly, a lot of people don't know this story on how I even got back to North Carolina Central. I was a high school coach at Sanderson High School. And Key, you probably know my principal was an incredible lady who's now the superintendent by the name of Kathy Moore. But Kathy Moore was my 10th grade French teacher at Enloe. Right. Okay. And so she hired me and at Sanderson when no one else did, because I had applied at other positions, but Leesville, Wakefield, and Knightdale, they all turned me down. And Millbrook. They said thank you, but no thank you. She was the only one who gave me a chance. So we had success at Sanderson. And Central called me back to come be the assistant coach. But it was that Lane Street thing. You know, loyalty is big for us. And I declined Central 3 times. And Miss Moore came into the teacher's lounge and she said, Coach, I need to see you. And I was like, yeah, what's going on? And she said, like, we all know anytime a woman gets in front of you and she take her hands and put it across your face like this.
She mean that thing.
Like something, there's going to be a deep, inspiring message out there. She said, LeVelle, look at me. and she said, "What you have to offer this world is bigger than Sanderson High School. You need to go to your alma mater." And I was like, "Nah, I want to be loyal to you." Because she said, "Don't worry about that." Right? I didn't understand that
Right.
teaching and coaching was a revolving door,
Mhm.
even at Wake County
Mhm.
Public School level.
Mhm.
So after that, that's when I went back to Central. I really didn't want to go back because I had so much fun pouring into kids at
Younger,
that
right?
level. Right, right.
Right,
It's
right.
innocent, it's
But it's
purity.
funny you should say that, because one of the I've managed teams of hundreds of people, right? And one of the joys of leading people is for you to give them, you to pour into them, and them to go higher. Now, yes, you may have a hole that you need to fill, but that is the greatest joy. And you had done that with so many students,
Hmm.
but you
Right.
didn't
Hmm.
even realize that for yourself. That,
Absolutely.
yeah, you it's time for you to level up, right?
There
You
you
pour
go.
into the kids, they go off to college and do whatever after that, and
That's real.
they took that influence from
Right.
you poured
Yeah.
into
Exactly.
them, and they leveled up,
Exactly.
but you weren't thinking about yourself in those
Yeah.
moments.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Key. And I've never thought about it like that. Like that's
Yeah.
amazing, right? And so I went back to Central, and now we're making the transition from Division 2 to Division 1, which is it's insane, right? We didn't have the resources, we ain't had the money, we ain't have a conference. We were just independent, so we were just out there. And I was like, man, I don't want like basketball on this level is nothing but a business. Y'all see that every single day. And I was like,
Mhm.
man, I don't want to like I don't want to do that. That ain't why I got into the game. I want to do it at the grassroots level and be pure and affect and impact lives. And we were the worst team when I was the assistant. We were the worst team in the country. So I think in 2008, 9, we won 3 games and lost 30 games, right? And we were
Mhm.
miserable. Like it was my worst year coach. It's worst year I've ever lost as assistant coach. And I'm just sitting there like just miserable because you're playing a game and you ain't even have a chance to win because you're making the transition. So you don't even have the caliber guys to compete,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so they get they the school fires my head coach. And so the first thing I do, I call Kathy Moore. I say, "Can I have my job back?" Because you know what I'm saying. I'm like, I see this is
I
why I
know
didn't want
that's
to come
right,
up
yo.
here, right?
We never
And
burn our bridges, buddy. Never
See, I
burn
right,
your own
told you.
bridges,
I
bro.
told you.
I'm
there
telling
you
you,
go.
boy.
That's the first thing I did. I called,
Never.
and I'm a guy that hate change,
Right.
right? I don't. I
Get out of
like
here.
because I've been through T. Like on Lane Street, it's so much dysfunction that when you get this, you just this
Right.
all you want
Right.
in life. You just here.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
All that and this, I don't like it. I hate it. So I didn't want any change. And I called Miss Moore back and she said, "Bill, like, won't you apply for the job?" And that's like, they're not gonna give me this job because I was just a part of the worst team in Central history and NCAA history right now. So they getting rid of everything that's moving. They're gonna implode this whole organization. And so
Right.
I applied for the job. And I thought they advanced to the next round, but I thought they did that just because it was a token interview because I went to Central and my jersey was up, all that foolishness, whatever. And nobody ever asked me a question about basketball. And it was the weirdest thing. And so now I get in front of the committee and they're asking me questions about being a CEO and managing a team. And it was something I had never done before on that level. But I had coached middle school and I had coached high school. And what I told him, I said, look, it's no different. It's still basketball. It's 2 teams, 5 players on the floor at each time, right? The only difference between here and high school is that the guys are a little older and they're a little better. That's the only difference, right? And so I said, they said, if we hire you, how are you going to run this organization? And I said, I'll run it the same way my grandmother ran her house, right? And I told them the core values that my grandmother had in her house, right? About being truthful. We're going to live it. We're going to tell it. We're going to take it. About being respectful, about having pride in yourself and your last name, about having respect for yourself and
Mhm.
others, right? And it's
Right.
really that simple, right? And so um, I told them, if you hire me in 5 years, we'll win a MEAC tournament. We'll be the ACC school and we'll go to the NCAA tournament. And I was hired in 2009, and in 2014 we won the MEAC championship. We beat
Yep.
NC State, and we went to
Mhm.
the NCAA tournament. And the
Not
craziest
my
thing,
school.
Yeah, yes,
we
they
had
did. Yeah,
to,
they did. Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
your
we,
Yeah, they
school.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
we,
was
we
yeah,
there.
had
Yeah, they
yeah,
to,
did.
yep.
we
Yeah,
had
yeah,
to.
they did.
But what people
Yeah.
don't know is the day I was hired, the next day I was almost fired because my athletic director called me, and it's it looks good now. It's a popular decision now, right? It's a little sexy to it now. But at the time, I was the youngest coach in the country, and nobody thought I should be
Mm.
hired. I didn't have a long resume, didn't have a long portfolio. I wasn't proven on the collegiate level as a
Wait, they didn't look
basketball
at
coach.
your age as part of your whole
No,
probably
no.
weeks long vetting process? Like
Yeah,
they
they
say,
was
okay,
like,
you're hired, and then they're like, but you are only how old were you?
yeah, 33, 34 when I got hired.
You're only
34.
34. We don't
Right,
want you no more.
right, right. Because what happened, and I'm gonna tell you this. The only I think that one of the people I have to thank for being hired is Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers because he
Mm.
won the Super Bowl that year. And he was the youngest black coach to win the Super Bowl ever. And
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
he got so much notoriety that they was like, hey, it may not be a bad thing because they really
Did you
didn't
ever get
think
to tell him thank you?
that's one of my best friends in life to this day.
Oh,
I
good,
tell him
good.
all the time, like
I
it's
love it.
right.
How you tell them apart from Oh My Epps? You can, you know what I'm saying?
How you stupid?
How you tell them apart?
You
You know what I'm
How,
saying?
stupid?
how you how
You
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 tell him
got the
apart
juice
from
now.
Marcus Williams? How you tell him
You
apart
Right.
from Marcus
stupid. You
Williams?
said Mark. Shout out to Mark. What's up, boy? So nah,
Yo,
that was it. That
but
was it.
so I wanted to ask you something about speaking of the MEAC, coach.
Hmm.
With the number of schools that have been departing the
Hmm.
MEAC, where do you see the future of the MEAC conference itself and NCCU going forward?
That's a great question, man. I know our administration and our higher administration from the chancellor. We just got a new athletic director, Skip Perkins.
Skip. Yep.
Um, like many of you probably know Skip. Like
Yep.
I know that's been an ongoing conversation. I know we've been
Great
loyal
hire.
to. Yeah, absolutely. I
Hmm.
know we've been loyal to the MEAC because I don't know if you know we're a founder member, we're a co-founder member,
Hmm.
right? And so,
Yep.
but now it's the cost of doing business, right? It started with A&T leaving, and then it started during the pandemic with Bethune and who was it?
Florida
FAMU,
A&M.
right?
Yeah.
And it just made sense for them, honestly, in terms of proximity, because they was passing over SWAC schools to come play us, right? And so it just made sense for them. I just thought in the meantime, during this entire time, that the MEAC should be actively recruiting members, and you should always be actively recruiting members because we're all in the transfer portal role right now. Not only the
Mhm.
players, but athletic directors, presidents, people just
Right.
leaving. It's just all of a revolving door. And so now these conferences are aligning themselves to give them, the best economic enhancement for their school and whoever is going to offer that best package. So if a school or a conference over here telling you, hey, yo, come over here. We'll put you on TV 8 times a year, and you'll get a percentage of the revenue stream
Mhm.
from those games, and it'll bump you or enhance your budget from 12 million to 18 million. Common sense, business wise, I'm going to take this +6 over here, right? And
Mhm.
so that's why schools are relocating and so on and so forth. So, and then the latest is, let's just address the elephant in the room. I don't know, but it's Howard, right? You heard
Mhm.
Howard
Mm.
is possibly
Yeah.
going to the CAA, and so I'm no longer willing to take things with a grain of salt. Like where there's smoke, they fire. Everybody ain't telling the same lie, so
Hmm.
Right.
everybody ain't saying Howard doing it and Howard ain't gonna do it. That's how I look at it. And so I just think we all need to be actively, looking for a safe space and a place for us to land. And but the decision makers on that is much bigger than my pay grade anyway. So I'll just
It's
coach wherever
above
we
me
land.
now.
Yeah, it's above me now. I'm sorry, it's above me now. You stupid, you stupid. It's above me now.
Oh my God. It's funny. I saw this post earlier this week. You're the second, you're the number two ranked uh basketball, college basketball coach with Twitter
Mhm.
interactions on Twitter. which I of course find incredible as you being a HBCU coach. Okay. How does it feel being an influencer? How does it feel being an influencer? You know, because you are, man. You are. Okay.
Yep.
I just, you know what? I really don't look at it like that. I just look at it as me being myself. It goes back to that speech I gave at the boys club, and I told you everybody was in there crying and, you know, oh, the boo-hooing. What I found out is that, you know, my life and my story is unique. I understand it. It's rare, right? Not every coach was from a Lane Street type of atmosphere. They didn't have my story in terms
Most
of
of them weren't. Most
right,
of them weren't.
right. Like it's 350 of us,
Most of them had
348 of them.
most of them
from the
had
hood.
doors open for them.
There you go, and some
Yeah.
nepotism and all of those
Right,
things.
right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I understand that when I speak, a lot of people listen because it's like taking a trip to the safari
Yep.
and being close enough to the animals to be able to see them, but not feeling endangered.
Don't you
Right.
come on
Follow
this show
me?
acting like that. Don't you come
Right?
on this
It's
show.
like
Yeah.
it's like
Talk that shit.
you get to ride close to the
Yeah.
safari,
Yeah.
and now you're really
Yeah.
close enough
Yeah.
to the animals, but you're not
Yeah.
threatened, right?
Mhm,
You feel
mhm.
safe. You're like, hey, I see you, I see you, I see you, right? And so that's how it is with Twitter. Like I take you close enough
Yeah.
to paint that picture of what it was like to be on Lane Street, or what it's like to have the HBCU experience, or really speak your mind, because most coaches got to be politically correct and they can't say what they say. And I don't be outrageous. I just say the truth. If a kid dies in the middle of the street at the arms of a if a black kid dies in the middle of the street at the arms of a cop, I'm gonna say something.
Mhm,
Right.
You
mhm.
follow what I'm saying? And
Right.
years ago, I just said, and it kind of just took off, but I was just being completely honest. I said, yo, it's really weird because you have all these white coaches that I see. They're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and after games, they're dancing. And they know our latest dances, they know our latest rap
Mhm,
songs, and so on and so forth,
mhm,
just enough to get a 15-second clip and it go viral. And I
mhm.
said, most of these coaches in football and basketball, their kids have generational wealth because kids that was the complexion of George Floyd could run a football or shoot a basketball.
Right.
Correct.
I said, now that's the
Correct.
truth. I said, but the moment that kid that's the complexion of George Floyd is shot dead in the street, nobody
Nobody
says
They
says
ain't got,
anything.
they
It's
ain't got
cricket.
nothing to say.
Yeah.
So
It's
LeVelle,
cricket.
that circle back to the like level up. So for you, some would think, not necessarily me, but some would think that the next level up would be like a high tier D1 school. And I'm talking way out of my like
Nah, I
wheelhouse
got
right
you.
here.
I
But
always
you
get
get
the
me,
fees.
you
I
get me,
already
you
know
get
where
me.
you're going. Yeah, I already
So
know where you're going.
at that, like, is part because if you were to make that next level up, that shit you was just talking probably would be in your contract that you couldn't necessarily
Right.
talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So it would
right.
that be like a determining factor at all? I'm not saying that it's on the table. Y'all don't come for me or whatever. I'm not taking them from Central. I'm just saying that as you leave the HBCU world and enter into the white world, basically, these type of things are definitely part of the consideration of not only you as a candidate, but the school itself on whether to extend an offer to you.
That's a great question. And with that said, I never really told anybody, Key. That's like, damn, y'all better than the people that get paid to ask me questions every day and every week. You know what I'm saying?
We don't
Straight
get
to tape,
paid
baby.
yet.
Straight
Don't
to
get
tape.
paid yet.
Straight to tape,
We all
baby.
about passion.
So
Yep.
We do it for the culture.
there
We
you
do.
go. There you go. And that's what I love, man. Like that's real. Since I've been at Central, I think I've had 9, maybe 10 job opportunities to leave.
Mhm.
Um, some has been made public, some has not been made public. Um, in that process, I've turned down 2 jobs that probably paid, no, not probably, they did. They paid $1 million or more, right? Um, I turned down 3 NBA jobs as a assistant coach on that level.
Was one of those the 76ers? Can you know what I'm saying? Just you know
Nah,
what I
it
mean?
wasn't the 76ers. I can tell you that. It wasn't
Oh
that.
man, we need you, man. We need you, coach.
It wasn't that. You know what I'm saying?
We need you, coach.
But I will say, Key, over the past 3 years or past couple of years, to answer your question, I think the thing that people have gravitated to has been in y'all mentioned the Twitter interactions and stuff like that. It's been the authenticity, right? The true authenticity is now being appreciated more so because we've had dialogue and we've had conversations. And I think people are smart enough to know that it's about their bottom line. And their bottom line, most of their bottom lines are kids that look like me running up and down the floor. So they're going to need someone that can relate to those kids that look like me running up and down that floor.
That's one part of it. The other part of it is the parents of the students that go to those schools, or the fans of those, because we all know black people don't buy a whole lot of basketball and NBA basketball. We do, but not as much as white people do. So they have to. You're
1,000% correct, because the boosters and the donors don't look like me. Right? And the ultimate decision makers,
not the other kind of boosters.
Right. You stupid.
Not the hood boosters. We ain't talking about.
We
ain't talking about Jack and Polo.
The donors. But no, you're right. They don't look like me. And a lot of times, I've turned down jobs because I met with athletic directors and it just didn't feel right. And you guys know what I know. Like, the one thing Lane Street taught me and gave me was the gift of discernment, because I'm in an apartment building with 80 people surrounding me. Right. So it's easy. There you go. It's crackheads, it's hustlers, it's loan sharks, it's the stick up kid, it's the jack boys, the dope boy.
Right.
It's the pimp, the prostitutes, the Bible study, the past. I've seen every character you can, because you can't fool me. If you fool me, it's because I wanted to be fooled. You know what I'm saying? But so that plays a lot. That plays a lot into it too. So at the end of the day, I guess what I'm saying is, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I can't be myself, because I'm not talking reckless. Right. I got to look at myself in the mirror, and there's no value or price tag on that to say, like, go here, but you can't be yourself. And again, what I say is, it's nothing reckless. I never disrespect anyone, but I speak truth to power, especially people that look like me. I'm going to say, I'm going to speak up on our behalf. Now, I ain't on Twitter having an opinion on everything.
Inevitably, there's some Karen going to the athletic director. Damn it, Chet. He mentioned George Floyd in his tweet yesterday.
Absolutely. Because
what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
The head booster lady, right?
You're going to get
and
that.
That's not.
And that's why it's so important to be able to look your athletic directors in the eyes and know that he or she has your back, through the midst of it all, because part of your job is it's the totality. Coaching is the totality, right? And so, you're coaching a kid for 2 hours on the basketball floor, but what about 22 hours off the floor, right? Now you got to speak truth with that power, because if that kid don't go pro, you got to teach him how to be a man, a husband, a head of household, and be a productive citizen out here, in this society. So that's why I try to be an open book at North Carolina Central. I got videos on where first thing we do when kids get to campus, we teach you how to be prepared for traffic stops with the cops.
I saw
that. That's what we do.
Just mention that.
Your job is to get home, not be a hero, not do anything. Just get home to mom. That's what we teach our kids, right? And so we're teaching them all of these things, and I've been an open book. So anybody that's coming to LeVelle Moton, if you've done any of your homework, this is what he's about. This is what he stands for. And, that's what it is.
Okay, look, Eagle Land. All right. I'm just going to take this
which Eagle Land?
North Carolina Central. Yeah, exactly. North Carolina Central University. You know,
That boy
North
like
Carolina Central
Dwayne
University.
Wayne from he like Dwayne Wayne from
Different
a different
Yeah.
world. Went to school and
But-
came back to work again.
Yeah, but we gonna take that as Coach Moton ain't going anywhere anytime soon. We'll leave it at
Don't come
that.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
We would definitely leave it at that.
Hey, folks.
Yo, Coach, how
Yes,
did you
sir.
enjoy the New Edition show when they were in
Do we
in
need to
North Carolina?
ask? Do we need to ask?
Yeah, I loved it, man. Like I just
Did you? Did you really? Okay.
Did
I
you
mean, I
really?
just gotta ask.
Yeah.
well, y'all get it off. But that
Coach,
ain't it?
Coach.
No, we stays with
Listen, he just had
receipts.
it. He just had the wrong colors on. If he would have had the black on, he caught. Look, he'd have slid his ass right on stage. Like
There
who
it
is
All
this
they had
man?
to do was push Bobby's. All they had to do was push Bobby's tired ass out the way.
Wait a minute. That whole show was amazing because I went to the one in Charlotte.
Yes.
Like
I went to the one in
That was
it was
Charlotte. King.
amazing.
Greensboro.
That's the one
However,
in Charlotte. Yeah, that was Charlotte.
huh? That was
That was
Charlotte. Okay, I
Charlotte.
was there.
Mhm.
I would like to say, and I would like you to get a message to Belle Biv and DeVoe. Okay, I grew up wanting to be a BBD dancer, and the last time I saw them prior to that show was at DPAC for like Central's homecoming thing or something like that years ago. It's probably like 7, 8, 9 years ago. Those dancers were dope. These new dancers, they just be doing the steps. I don't think they feel
That
they don't
BBD.
feel the BBD.
They don't feel that, you know. They
They're
hit.
just-
They
You know,
they're not hitting that.
they're hitting the steps. They didn't miss it.
They're
They
not
felt
hitting
it.
it.
have the,
They're not hitting it. Yeah, they're not hitting it. Yeah, yeah.
They didn't have that. They didn't.
Well,
have
you
that.
know,
Very
it was
sensitive.
I don't know if you know this. Their choreographer is a guy by the name of Brooke Payne.
Brooke Payne. Yep. Yep.
He's Ronnie's uncle.
Uh-huh.
When we lived in Boston, like talent shows were the thing, right? So
Yeah.
every week we were
Right,
trying
right.
to do talent shows, and everybody was trying to get Brooke. And so I named my daughter after Brooke, right? So my daughter's
Oh.
Brooke, and so
Wow,
they share the
wow.
same birthday and all of those things or whatever. And so and so yeah, you got to understand that show was a New Edition show. So when it's a New Edition show, it's always going to have Brooks imprint on it. Like seeing him in rehearsal with them, right? They still act like they're 12 years old when he's
Oh
there.
wow! Yeah.
Right? You know that teacher that walks into the classroom and you just tighten up because it's you know that's Brooke to them.
Lord,
So,
if Miss McFadden was still alive
There you
today,
go.
walked in
Yeah,
here,
right,
I'd
right.
be straight.
and so that whole style of New Edition and what you see, it comes from Brooke Payne. Brooke was the
Showman.
choreographer and dancer, and he was in this group called A Touch of Blue, and they kind of patterned themselves. Now I'm going back old school now. It was
Yeah.
a group called Blue Magic.
Blue Magic. Yep. Got
Blue
Golden Bell.
Magic was Brooks' idols. So he just took that and placed it on some little boys, and that's his whole style. So when you see a New Edition show, it's gonna be pretty hands, all
hands,
that,
hands,
da. But then when you get to Belle Biv DeVoe, that's gonna be
hip-hop.
just like straight hood.
Yeah.
That's New Edition when they're not on stage. That's who they
Yeah.
are, you know, hip hop. Da. So
Yeah.
it's dope. It's dope, and he does a good job of like.
Yeah, it was a good show, and the choreography was great. I just think the feeling, like they're a young girls,
and
they just
Yeah.
didn't, I don't feel
Yeah.
like they felt it like we feel it.
No, I got. Did you see the RBRM show, the Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike show?
Mm-mm, not it.
What?
Did I?
The
Yeah.
what?
No, I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
no,
The
a couple
what?
of years ago, they were touring.
They did it. So you
know,
would have
off
loved that
yeah.
because that was just more like
Yeah.
more BBD because Johnny and Raph didn't go on that tour. You know what I'm saying? So that was just more that. Yeah.
Now, LeVelle, I will say this. I'm mad that I never got a chance to see the Heads of State tour. And that was a tour with, that was a tour with Ralph, with Johnny, and with Bobby, the voices of New Edition. I'm a New Edition head too. So, you know.
Me too. And that Any Heartbreak album is one of the greatest albums in R&B history.
Time.
That's
I'm sorry.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. So listen, Vel. So when you were watching the biopic, were you that dude that was sitting there because you know these guys? Were you that dude sitting there like, okay, yeah, that's true to life. Okay, no, that's some bullshit. All right, poetic license. Were you that dude?
I was exactly that dude because I went on the set. They told me to come on the set for a couple of days, and so I saw when they were shooting the movie actually. And I thought, because I really thought it was going to be corny, honestly. I'm like, man, y'all can't.
Me too, but it was really good.
Right. Shit was really good, right? And then right after that, Bob shot his movie, and he asked me to come to Atlanta, and I went down there, and I watched him,
more shocking.
do his, and I was like, yo, y'all got these characters like up to par. So when I saw Woody, I was like, yo, this you. And so even in the New Edition biopic, what's crazy is, and I'll pull up the picture, like it's wild. My cousin was in the original group. Shout out to Trav Pettis, right? And so I don't know if you remember in the show, it was Trav and Corey, but Trav but they ended up leaving because Trav just wanted to hoop. He ain't want to rehearse every day. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I'm a basketball player. And so that's when Brooke went to Cathedral Projects. Cathedral is down the street from Orchard Park, and he got his nephew, Ronnie, right? And that's when he brought Ronnie back into the group. So I'm looking at all this stuff go, and I just remember Raph in the projects. Raph was always the karate dude. So he was like the Bruce Lee dude with the nunchucks by himself, right? Because me, Raph, and Rick stayed in the same building. Mike stayed across the street. And so it was up to par, and it was up to form. And the one thing I loved it, they were all on set. And those characters spent a lot of time with each one of them, getting their accents, getting their ways, just learning things. And the beautiful thing about it was they all learned things about each other that they never really even knew about themselves, right? So they didn't even know that Ralph had declined the solo career and decided to stay with the group, right? You know what I'm saying? Like at 12 years old, right? That's loyalty, right? They was like, yo, we need you to, because Ralph's voice is distinctive, right? Even to this day, it's distinctive. And so people didn't know that Ralph decided to say, nah, I'm from OP, I don't get down like that, because he was loyal to them. That was great. People always wondered why Bob acted the way he did, but I was like, Bob was the founding member of the group. That group really started because Bob said, Ricky and Mike, I'm going to start a group. Y'all just get on stage and dance behind me. Right? That's how the group started, right? So it was Bob's group, right? Anybody from Orchard Park in Boston know Bob was a DJ. He would do the block parties as a kid, but he was always the dude that was doing the attention thing or whatever. And then once they went to the talent show and Maurice Starr saw them after they won the talent show, they went to cut the album and they was trying out people's voices because he just wanted to make a song that was directly parallel to ABC by the Jackson 5, right? That's all Candy Girl is. It's ABC by the Jackson 5. And so when he heard Rav's voice, he said, yo, that's it. You're the lead singer of the group. So now Bob's sitting there like, shit, I'll be damned, like I'm the one who started. So that's Bob's issue the whole time. So it's really crazy. So that movie just gave them an opportunity to educate themselves, right, to things that they really didn't know, as well as the fans. So I thought it was a beautiful thing, man. And I tell them all the time. I talk to them 2-3 times a week. Ralph's birthday was yesterday, so I always talk to him, and I try to tell them that, man, like, yo, don't take this for granted, because God still have all 6 of you here for a reason. We see the unsungs, and unsungs never end happily. You know what I'm saying? That shit start off good, but it end tragically because somebody
that high five one is. I think I cried at the end.
I've only watched it once.
I've only watched it once. Crazy. You ever seen the Teddy P doc?
Yeah, the Teddy P joint. The Teddy P joint. Yes,
Right?
yo.
But
Yeah.
I
So
will
all
tell
those
you,
movies it ends with heartbreak. So I
Teddy
was like,
B,
yo,
Teddy
while
B.
The
y'all
one
are
about the
here,
silvers.
enjoy this. Yeah,
Yep.
this shit is crazy. Troop and
Yeah,
like
trooping all them, yo.
just
Yeah.
all of it, man. That shit is it's hard to look at because all of those groups really raised us.
Right.
Like all of those groups really gave us pivotal times in our life where they communicated for us because we couldn't communicate for ourselves.
You know, man, I would love to talk to New Edition and ask them, like, how do they feel about the non-existence of the black boy band now?
That's
You know
crazy.
what
It's
I'm
no, it's
saying?
no
There
more
isn't
boy
one.
bands.
I would
No.
love to
There's no
talk to them
bands
about that.
whatsoever.
Not no
You know
black,
what? And that's
not
what
no
makes
black
them.
bands.
That's
Right.
what makes them
Boy
continue
bands.
to be relevant, and that's what
Mhm.
makes them, immortal. Kind of. I'm gonna show you a picture. I don't know if y'all can see this. This is kind of oh shit. I don't even know how to do that. All right, can y'all see this picture?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
see
we
it.
can see it.
Yeah.
All right, that's my. Okay, I'm gonna point because I don't. Nah, this is my left hand. It got it backwards. That's them. That's my cousin Travis. You see Bob on the far wing. You see Ralph in the white pants. You see Rick in the back. Oh,
Right.
hold on. You
That's fucking
see
crazy.
you see Mike, and then you see Trav. That was the original New Edition right there.
Wow.
Wow.
Like I rated my mom's photo album, and like I got pictures you wouldn't
Right.
believe this shit. Like it's crazy, right? So that's what it was.
That's
So
crazy.
Wow.
He like that fourth member of Boys the Men. The motherfucker just left. He done the tall nigga.
Man,
He just
hold
gone.
on. Don't
He
do
just
him
gone.
that,
There was
man.
four
He
niggas.
had
No,
background.
There
no,
was four
man.
niggas. There was four niggas.
Yeah,
in Black
Don't
Boys.
come,
yeah,
don't
don't
come
do
for
him
Philly,
like that.
bro.
Don't do him
Philly,
like
bro.
that. Don't do him like
he
that.
said, "Don't come for
There's
Philly."
Yeah.
There was
Don't come
four
for Philly,
niggas.
bro.
There was
Don't
four
do him like
niggas in
that.
Boys the Men, man. There was four
No,
Watch
niggas
your
in
mouth.
Boys the Men.
No.
He had back issues, and they weren't treating him right. You know what I'm saying? They don't never like the nigga with the deep voice. You know what I'm saying? They'll never treat him right. He don't never get the real pay.
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
like scoliosis or something,
yeah,
right?
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, yeah. That's what happened to him, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Don't
He
like I
was
said,
dope.
yeah. Look, don't do him like that. And look, coach, man, look, and I just gotta drop one more video on you just real quick. Just real
Let's
quick,
do it.
okay? Because we talked about you being an influencer, okay? And influencers so much that I have never hold on.
Oh my
I have
God.
never ever seen a HBCU coach do this.
This.
Yeah, yo.
Yo,
When I saw
Hit
that
it one more
video, I was
time,
like,
Perry.
yo,
Hit it one more time. Hit it one more time.
Yo,
Hit it one more time.
this-
do it again.
Yep, more cheese, please.
immortalized as a meme. You have truly
This chapter
truly
is called
arrived,
Damn
bro.
Y'all.
Right.
Hey, not to. Let's get back on that question real fast. Hold that thought. I want to show you this. This is crazy, right? It just popped up in my phone, right? So, Key, I don't know if you remember. It might have been Keisha. It was like 19. I don't know if y'all remember. It was like 91, I believe, right? New Edition had shot. They shot this video called Word. They had this song called Word to the Mother. Y'all remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's a BBD song.
there
Isn't
you
that-
go.
no,
Right,
no,
there
that's
you
a-
go. Right.
yeah, it's a
No,
BBD
you're right.
song,
It's
yeah.
a BBD song, right? And so I'm in Raleigh. So I tell my mom, I was like, they had called and said they're going back to Orchard Park to shoot the video. They're like, yo, you got to come up here. It's like, oh my goodness. I begged my mom. I'm in high school. I begged my mom to go back up there. So I go back up there. They got the video shoot. They got helicopters. This shit crazy in the projects, right? And so Mike has 4 dudes with him. And he was like, yo, Val, you know, Mike, how he talk. He's like, yo, Val, I'm telling you, they next up right there. And I was like, huh? He's like, they next up right there. And at the time, my basketball coach, his name is, me and Mike's first basketball coach in OP was a guy by the name of Marvin McIntyre. Marvin has a studio in Atlanta. He just like the A&R. He just grooms all the acts prior to them hitting the stage or whatever. And now when they about to go on tour, he does that. So Mike sent them with Marv, and Marv sent them back to him. So Mike was telling me, he's like, yo, them 4 dudes right there, they next up. Nobody knew him. I just thought, I was like, who the hell is this? They in the projects, they had denim clothes on. It like this that picture. So I took a picture of him in the projects. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Can you
Right
see
there.
it? Oh my bad.
Yep.
Boys,
So I
right
took
there.
Yep.
boys to
I
men.
took a picture of them in the project. Nobody knew who they were though. You know what I'm saying? And I just took a picture because Mike was like, "Yo, I'm telling you, them boys
Wow.
is up there." So
Wow.
they came to the. You can see the projects in the background, and
Yeah.
that's the baseball field right there. So they were just there, and Mike was like, "Yo, I'm telling you, they next up." And I took a picture, and then by the time I got back to Raleigh, a month later, they were just Motown Philly. You know, I was like, "Oh my god,
Yep.
so it's crazy."
Wow.
But we can go back to the cheese meme thing that y'all got. Y'all ain't shit for that. I'll tell you that.
You notice how he deflected off that shit. Let me go
I
back and
know.
look at this
Yeah,
nigga.
real
Yeah,
quick.
we
Straight.
preaching family and
That-
everything. Y'all got me playing
that
cheese
PR
and shit.
advisor is working very well. That PR
This guy
advisor is
did
working
that.
very well there, sir.
You
Yeah,
do
right.
realize that's never going away, right?
Yeah.
It's
forever,
probably like
yeah.
if I go to
Yep.
gifts in Facebook to do a reaction to somebody's comment
Shut up.
and
It's gonna
search
be
for
on there.
cheese, it's
Yep.
probably on there.
Yeah.
But then they
Yep.
started the next day when I thought it calmed down, they started hitting me with like the pencil sharpener thing. They was like,
Yeah.
so now when you got a fly outfit on and you go sharpen your pencil. I was like, damn, bro, like, it was
saw that one.
crazy.
I saw that one.
It was crazy, man. Everybody just on your neck about it, man. So it ain't no fun going viral. I'll tell you that. That shit ain't fun. Yeah.
But at least you know it's forever. Okay.
It's forever.
Right.
It is. Yeah.
It's
It is pretty much.
Fuck
forever.
that shit. I'm
pencil
NFT that
sharpening.
shit. Fuck that. I'm
NFT it.
NFT in that shit.
NFT it.
That shit. Fuck that. Give me that
Somebody
loot.
about
Yo, Coach, one more quick question, okay?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing the event, and I apologize. The single mother salute.
Yes, sir.
Will you be doing that again this year?
Yes, sir. That's every year. I think this will be our ninth year into full
Okay.
effect.
Okay.
We just, man, it's the most amazing event, right? Because it's named after my mom. It's in honor of my mom. I also give away 10 awards, and she reads all the letters and she decides the winners. And, you know, we probably give away, we honor 150 single moms each year in the Triangle community. And all they got to do is just be nominated by somebody. Hell, they can nominate themselves. We ain't that tricky on it. Just send an email to their kids and say, look, I want to come to the single moms. And that's it. And then from there, they just, if they want, they submit I don't want to say an essay, but they just submit a line or two or however long or short they want it to be on why they should be single mother of the year. And that's where I get to know them. And the only people that read the stories are myself and my mom. And those stories are incredible, man. Like it breaks your heart, right? You're looking at a beautiful woman who has herself together externally, but she done been through hell and back inside. You know what I'm saying? But she's still able to smile throughout the face of adversity. And that's the beauty and that's the power of single moms. I'm sure we all encountered or was raised or, you know, whatever by one. We understand the power of women and the beauty in that. And so we celebrate it. And man, I partnered with a lot of companies, and we probably give away over $60,000 worth of prizes, you know, vacations, gift cards, man, you name it. Like last year, I think we gave away vacations to Aruba, Dubai, Orlando, Myrtle Beach, Vegas, New York, like all expenses paid, man. We had a young lady who she had 4 kids and she couldn't keep a steady job because she didn't have reliable transportation. Her car kept breaking down, but she worked her ass off, but her car just kept breaking down. So I got with a dealership and we got a minivan. Like she sends me a picture of that minivan every month. I was like, you ain't got to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? But it was like,
sweet.
those are the things, man. Like now she was able to get reliable transportation. And from that, she got a promotion at her job and so on and so forth. But it's just about helping people, man, and celebrating them. And we've had some phenomenal speakers. Last year was Wanda Durant, Kevin Durant's mom. We had David Banner come through, right?
I was
Because
at that one.
Yeah. So Banner came through. We had what's Terry from the Steve Harvey show, Terry Vaughn.
Terry Vaughn. Okay.
Terry Vaughn, came through. We've been in contact with Monica and Brandy this year. You know what I'm saying, to see if they want to come. So it's all
Both of them,
incredible,
they gonna
man.
fight.
What you
I
got?
don't want
For
them to fight. We got to be
What
equal.
you-
Or.
What you got for
Lapel is
some?
mine type thing.
What you got for some black single fathers? I'm about to damn adopt like 5 white children.
you're
I
not.
need to do
No,
that.
you're
You
not.
know what
You
I'm
gotta
gonna do for the
travel.
men though? What I want to do for the fellas is what I want to do for the fellas is a daddy daughter dance, right?
Yeah,
So we
most
can all
definitely.
take our daughters to dances and just spend that time
That'd be
together
dope,
with them too,
man.
man.
That'd
So
be
I want
dope,
to,
man.
we'll call it the girl dad dance or something. So
Right, most definitely.
that's
That'd be
coming
dope.
up next, man. I'm always coming up with ideas, and my wife be like, "Damn, sit your ass down somewhere." You know what I'm saying? She like, you just do way too much. You know what I'm saying? And I do, but man, so many people did so much for me, man, and I can't ever forget that.
Right. Most definitely, man.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, look, make sure you follow this man on all of your social media platforms, okay? Make sure
Especially Twitter, where he be talking that shit.
Exactly.
Look,
Look,
damn, I gotta
make
talk to you about
sure
that, dude. I can't be on Twitter all the time.
make sure you go by his website, CoachLeVelleMoton.com. Okay.
Yes.
Get to know and get to learn the LeVelle Cares Foundation. The Vell Cares Foundation. Okay. Look, Coach, man, look, the closer that we get to the single mother salutes, okay? You're welcome to come back on. Okay. We've really and truly have enjoyed this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach of our beloved North Carolina Central University, Coach LeVelle Moton.
And
thank
Enloe
you.
Eagle
Thank you.
alumni.
Yeah, and Enloe alumni as well.
Future
Thank you.
Fuck all that.
Thank you for coming through the straight to
Fuck all
tape.
that. Lane
Man,
Street
thank you
all
guys
day.
for having
Lane
me,
Street,
man.
Chavis Height all.
Lane Street all day, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you guys. I had a blast, man.
Yeah, man. Really appreciate you, bro. Really appreciate you. Thanks for coming through, man.
No doubt. Anytime. Please
Dude,
call
love
me.
you, dude, man. Most
Again. Love you, boss. Love you, Key. Take care.
Trust
y'all.
me, we will.
My
You
bad.
will be
Absolutely.
All right, my guy. Appreciate y'all.
Good night, brother.
Woo, man! Look,
Y'all
that
love
was
it.
a beautiful.
You put
so
him
good,
on big screen on purpose, because our show was about to put all of y'all out of here except for me and him, because we're the ones that went to Enloe High School in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh Lord. Look,
Nobody cares. But
Everybody cares.
Yeah, exactly. Look,
Everybody cares.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining us on Straight to Tape. You know you can catch us Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Audio version of Straight to Tape, which is now powered by Acast. You can catch that on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. This episode will be up real soon for your audio, for your audio and oral pleasure.
you know what, man?
Oh boy,
Right.
I like that.
I got it.
Oral pleasure.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead. But yeah, I got it.
No.
My fingers on the trigger right now. I would just like to let you know that.
Lord. Follow us on our social media platforms. Make sure you hit us up on our at S2T Media, our YouTube channel. Your Bishop.
What's up? I'm here, baby.
Yo, man.
You know what I'm saying?
What you got going on tomorrow on Intelligence?
Tomorrow, man, we gonna dive deep in some of the things that's going on with America. You know what I'm saying?
America.
I think we're supposed to have the street flavor people on. I don't know. I gotta clear it with Sam to see if he come on this week. But yeah, man.
Oh yeah. I keep on forgetting. You did call out DJ Sam.
I know. I didn't just call out DJ Samps. I called out the whole damn Street Flavor mix. The street. First off, if y'all have a chance, check out all stuff from Street Flavor music and the conglomerate. It's a dope situation. But also, fuck the motherfuckers, because guess what? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the friend. I'm their friend. They should have hit me up in my inbox like, "Hey Bishop, let's put together an interview." I got a whole bunch of celebrity friends that don't like me.
You have a whole bunch of non-celebrity friends that don't like you. So what?
Yeah, that's just
Well, then there it is.
But I
At least I
love
have.
you. I love you.
At
Though.
least I have
That's all that
friends.
matters.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us don't.
But look, ladies and gentlemen, look, make sure you check out Bishop Omega and the crew over at Intelligently Ratchet. Make
Wednesday night
sure
today.
Wednesday nights at 8. Okay. I hope everyone went out and did their civic duty and voted.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anything else anyone else has?
Yo, t-shirts, they're belly socks. Good night.
Whatever, man.
Look.
I'm gonna go ahead and give love, man. You know what I'm saying?
You sure?
We got to do it, of course, man. Of course.
You sure?
of course.
Rob, are you sure?
Bruh.
Let's go.
Why you keep trying to prolong this show? Just hit the button.
No. Rob wanted to said he wanted to show love.
I'm gonna show love.
Yes,
man. I'm
hit
gonna
the
show
button.
love.
You keep asking.
I'm gonna close my eyes. I don't think I want to see this.
I'm gonna show love, man. So yeah, man. We always love when y'all rock out with your favorite podcast, man, and keep on rocking out with your favorite podcast and share the streams and the whole nine. Big up to everybody that shared the stream. Thank you. And just want to show some love to the comment section early on the check-in, the homie Barrett Downing. We had Scott Graham in the building, Nisai on the check-in, my man Raj the Big Chief, Reg that dude, Daniel Allen. He had to check out early. He's got something to do early in the morning, so he had to check out. The homie Asim. We had McLeod Bynum in the house. Hadn't seen him in a while. What's going on, bro? My man Ethan in the building. Jay Trey. Also Tabitha on the check-in. Hey, Tab. Reacts, we had Latarsha Singleton, we had Natasha Evans Farrington, we had the homie Asim, of course, Tanya T, Lynn Carter, and Neatrice Holmes. Thank you everybody for checking in, commenting, staying active, and like I said, share the streams. You know what I'm saying? Drop the reacts, drop the hearts, all that good stuff, and keep rocking with your favorite podcast, man.
Hey, guess what?
Peace.
Some of those people you gave love to went to Enloe High School. Let's continue on.
And actually, and speaking of Enloe, okay, I would like to dedicate this show to of course, to someone who's been rocking with Straight to Tape from the very beginning. Actually, she's responsible for one of the greatest audio shows we ever did with the artist Josie Mo. Okay, she's responsible. All right, so
not responsible.
That was like
that was
3 years ago, right?
It was her fault.
It was her fault. Exactly.
It was her
Thank
fault.
You very much. It was her fault.
Let's get it right.
We're not going to discuss the specifics, but it was her fault, and I'd like to dedicate this show to one of my very best friends in the whole wide world. She's currently recovering in a hospital. She had a stroke on Friday, and it was scary for her and scary for everyone who loves her. But she is doing well. We still cutting up and cracking jokes, and I love her so much. Faith Farley. She has a long road to recovery, but we gonna do it because I am not pushing her ass around in a wheelchair, all the places that we still have to go in our life. So she'll be running by August.
You got this, baby. You got this, and we love you. We love you.
Love you, girl.
Yeah. So look, ladies and gentlemen, once again, another great episode of Straight to Tape. We will see you guys next week. As always, stay active. Okay. Stay community involved, stay safe. If some of y'all stay strapped, but most of all, stay loved. Okay.
You talking about lesbians?
Tico, I hate you. We're out.
Yo, that is